What's something people don't know about the strangest cars ever made? You know how much I love cars? And today, we're going deep down the rabbit hole of automotive history to check out some of the strangest, most unusual vehicles ever conceived. We're not talking about your average oddball design here, folks. Oh no, we're talking about cars that look like they drove straight out of a science fiction movie. From tiny three-wheelers that make a smart car look like a Hummer, to cars that drive upside down, we're covering it all. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ding that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of this awesome content. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, first up, we have what might be the most iconic tiny car ever made, the Peel P50. This thing is absolutely minuscule. I mean, we're talking smaller than a washing machine. It's only 54 inches long, which is actually smaller than some refrigerators. You're probably thinking, there's no way this thing is street legal, right? Wrong. This little guy was actually produced and sold in the UK in the 1960s. Can you imagine seeing this thing puttering around on the streets today? It's got one door, 3 wheels, and a top speed of about 38 miles per hour. And get this, there's no reverse gear. Nope. If you need to back up, you actually have to get out and physically drag it backwards using a handle on the rear. I'm not kidding. Next up, we have another tiny car, but this one's a bit more well-known, the BMW Isetta. Now this car is weird for a whole different reason. Instead of having traditional doors on the side, the entire front end of the car swings open for you to get in. I'm serious, the steering wheel and everything swings out with it. Talk about making an entrance, right? BMW actually built this car back in the 1950s as a way to offer affordable transportation in post-war Europe. It was powered by a tiny motorcycle engine and could actually hit a top speed of 53 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive for something that looks like a bubble on wheels. Okay, buckle up because things are about to get even weirder. Ever heard of a car company called Messerschmitt? Yeah, me neither. Well, it turns out they used to build fighter planes for the German Luftwaffe during World War II, but after the war, they needed a new line of work and decided to try their hand at making cars. And that's how we got the Messerschmitt KR200. This thing looks like a single-seater fighter jet that got shrunk in the wash. It's a 3-wheeler with a bubble canopy that slides open for entry and exit. It's cramped, it's loud, and it's powered by a tiny engine from a scooter. But hey, at least you'll look incredibly stylish driving it, right? Chapter 4. Panther 6, the 6-wheeled supercar. Now let's jump from tiny, weird cars to something a little more extra. I'm talking about the Panther 6. This British beast was a 6-wheeled supercar built in the 1970s and it was absolutely wild. I mean, just look at it. It's got a massive 8.2-liter Cadillac V8 engine that pumps out a monstrous 600 horsepower, and with 2 extra wheels in the front, it had insane grip and handling. Only 2 Panther 6s were ever made, and they were rumored to cost an absolute fortune back in the day. It's like the ultimate look-at-me car. If you wanted to stand out from the crowd, this was definitely the way to do it. Chapter 5. Tyrrell P34. 6 wheels on the racetrack. Okay, we've seen a 6-wheeled supercar, but how about a 6-wheeled Formula 1 car? Yep, that's right. Back in the 1970s, the Tyrrell P34 took the racing world by storm with its totally unique design. The idea was that by having 4 smaller wheels at the front, the car would have less drag and better aerodynamics. It actually worked pretty well for a while, and the P34 even won a race. But the car proved to be unreliable and difficult to maintain, so it was eventually retired. Still, it's one of the most recognizable and innovative F1 cars ever built, and it definitely deserves a spot on our list of strange cars. Chapter 6. Hennessy Venom, F5 Hypertruck 6 wheels all-terrain domination. So we've seen some pretty crazy cars so far, but it's time to talk about something truly wild, the Hennessy Venom F5 Hypertruck. Now this thing is still shrouded in mystery, but the rumors are absolutely insane. Hennessy, the same company that makes the 1,800 horsepower Venom F5 hypercar, is supposedly working on a 6-wheeled off-road beast of a truck. Details are scarce, but imagine a lifted, jacked-up pickup truck with the heart of a hypercar. We're talking thousands of horsepower, off-road suspension, and a body kit that would make a Lamborghini blush. Whether it actually sees the light of day remains to be seen, but just the thought of it is enough to get any car enthusiast excited. Alright, let's switch gears now and talk about cars that can swim. First up, we have the Gibbs Aquita. This is a high-performance sports car that can transform into a speedboat in just a matter of seconds. You literally drive it right into the water, hit a button, and the wheels retract. A jet drive lowers, and you're ready to cruise across the lake. It's powered by a V6 engine that gives it plenty of power on both land and water. The Aquata was even driven across the English Channel by Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group. Talk about a cool way to get to work, right? Next up in our amphibious adventures we have the Amphicar 770. This classic car from the 1960s might not be the fastest or most glamorous car on our list, but it's certainly one of the most unique. The Amphicar was designed to be equally capable on land and water, and it even had a propeller and a rudder for navigating waterways. Believe it or not, this car was actually quite popular in its day, and it even caught the attention of US President Lyndon B. Johnson, who was known to prank guests by driving them into his ranch's lake. Now that's what I call presidential transportation. If you thought the Aquila and the Amphicar were cool, get a load of this, the Water Car Panther. This thing is like the love child of a Jeep Wrangler and a jet ski. It's a rugged, go-anywhere off-roader that can literally drive right into the water and transform into a high-speed jet boat. The Panther is powered by a Honda engine that gives it plenty of grunt on both land and water. It can hit highway speeds on land and then seamlessly transition to water, where it can reach speeds of up to 44 miles per hour. It's the ultimate vehicle for anyone who wants the best of both worlds, off-road capability, and the freedom to explore any lake or river you come across. Alright, let's move on to something completely different. Ever wondered what would happen if you flipped a Ford F-150 truck completely upside down but kept driving it? Well, someone actually did that. This custom-built monstrosity is exactly what it sounds like. A Ford F-150 that's been flipped on its roof and modified to be driven upside down. The engine, transmission and everything else are still mounted in their original positions, but the bodywork has been flipped and the steering and controls have been re-engineered. It's a bizarre sight to see, and it's definitely not the most practical vehicle on the road, but it's a testament to human ingenuity and the desire to create something truly unique. This one might just be weirder than the upside-down truck. Get ready for the backwards car. This is another custom creation where the entire body of the car has been turned around 180 degrees. So, the front of the car is now the back, and the back is now the front. But here's the kicker. It still drives forward. Yep, the engine, transmission, and everything else still function as they should, but the driver is now facing the rear of the car. It's like driving in reverse all the time, but with the added bonus of confusing everyone on the road. If you thought the backwards car was confusing, wait until you hear about this one. The reverse steering car. This is a car where the steering wheel has been modified to turn the wheels in the opposite direction. So, turning the steering wheel to the left makes the car go right and turning it to the right makes it go left. It sounds like an absolute nightmare to drive, right? Well, it is, but that doesn't stop people from trying. There are actually quite a few videos online of people attempting to drive reverse steering cars, and it's just as chaotic and hilarious as you'd expect. Alright, let's wrap things up with a look at some concept cars that are so futuristic, they seem like they belong in a sci-fi movie. First up, we have the Mercedes-Benz AVTR. This concept car was inspired by the movie Avatar, and it's absolutely stunning. It's got a sleek, bio-inspired design, and it's completely electric and autonomous. But the coolest part? It doesn't have a steering wheel. That's right, the AVTR is controlled by a central control unit that responds to the driver's hand gestures and movements. It's like something straight out of Minority Report. Remember when the Tesla Cybertruck was first revealed and everyone thought it looked like something a 5-year-old drew? Well, it turns out that some of the early design concepts for the Cybertruck were even wilder than the final product. We're talking about crazy angles, bizarre proportions, and features that would make even the most die-hard Tesla fans scratch their head. It's fascinating to see how the design of the Cybertruck evolved over time, and to imagine what might have been if Tesla had gone with one of the more outlandish concepts. Last but not least, we have the Toyota e-Palette. This autonomous concept vehicle is like a self-driving hotel room on wheels. It's designed to be a mobile platform for a variety of services including transportation, delivery, and even mobile retail. The e-Palette is fully electric and can be customized with different interiors to suit its specific purpose. Imagine hailing an e-Palette and having it take you to your destination while you relax in a comfortable lounge chair or get some work done at a built-in desk. The future of transportation is looking pretty awesome, don't you think? And there you have it, folks. Those are some of the strangest, most unusual cars ever made. From tiny three-wheelers to six-wheeled supercars and everything in between, these vehicles prove that the automotive world is full of surprises. Which one of these crazy cars was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, while you're down there, don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and want to see more awesome car content.